And I saw now, because I buy Noel, they have him friend them, and Kathy have her friend them who no one, none of them get locked up. And plus you have the two other lady, the two other police car. Only there saw one police woman go with her. I mean, I couldn't know say two police woman go up there with Kathy. You understand? Because I buy Donna Lee a bad girl. And because I know Donna Lee good people. Donna Lee another push over. So Kathy alone couldn't manage Donna Lee. But me just give Noel the girl mascot for the decade, not even for the year. The biggest girl mascot ever. Because here we go on now. Him too late, him can't turn back now. But I now got prison for no woman when.
Welcome to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now, Sophia Log, the mother of Donna Lee Donaldson, has sent a thank you to all her supporters worldwide. And with the ruling a judge has just handed out to a bus conductor in a similar premeditated murder case, very similar to that of Noel Maitland and Donna Lee Donaldson, since Noel Maitland went to Donna Lee's house, picked her up, and it seems with the intention of taking her life. May I read Miss Log's post and then read the article. Now, Miss Log said, to all my supporters across the world, near and far, who stand by me and my family in this horrible tragedy, my life will never be the same again. My dreams, my hopes are all shattered without my baby girl in my life. I am hopeless. Justice must and will be served one way or the other. I will not stop until these savages are placed where they belong. And she says she will continue pursuing justice for her daughter, Donna Lee Donaldson. She says without the prayers and comforting words of encouragement from supporters, she says she don't know how she would be coping. But she says, as bitter as she feels, she still trusts God, and that her faith in God is what is keeping her going. She says, please continue to pray and stand with me, as it is not over yet. Of course, Ms. Log is pointing out that at this point, it has still not reached the murder trial. Maitland is still seeking bail. Now, in a similar case, a judge handed out a ruling of life in prison for a bus conductor who pled guilty. Keep in mind, this is an individual who pled guilty. Noel Maitland has not pled guilty, even though the court, the police detectives, and the prosecutors have pointed out that Noel Maitland is indeed guilty of the murder of Donna Lee Donaldson. He has still not cooperated. This individual cooperated and still received life. Now, of course, condolences to the family. Dead is Kedisha Cousins, a student of Waterford Primary, and this girl was only 7. Now, in handing down the sentence, Justice Bertram Morrison said the crime was premeditated, barbaric, and the punishment must reflect. Now, when they plead guilty, them consider say because waste the court time, them try to give one of the best sentences we fit your crime. As I say, the punishment must reflect. Now, them point out say this crime was premeditated. In the case of Noel Maitland, Noel Maitland picked up Donna Lee Donaldson from her house, took her to his apartment, where law enforcement said the murder occurred. He then tried to cover up said murder, took articles of furniture which was either stained or used to transport the body, and tried to have those things cleaned. And we have confessions and witness statements and testimonies from the people who work at the car wash and the people who pick up the couch. The judge told the accused, who was in the dock, that justice must be served for the victim. And the judge also said, this is that those like-minded should be discouraged from such wicked acts. Noel Maitland is an ex-member of law enforcement, former member of the JCF. The judge said those like-minded should be discouraged to perform or commit such wicked acts. The judge presiding over the bail hearing for Noel Maitland, after his attorneys pointed out that he was a long-term member of the JCF, the judge said that his training and his years in the service aided him in the murder and the murder cover-up of Donna Lee Donaldson. That's what the judge say. Now with all of the talk by not only citizens, but by members of law enforcement themselves, that the criminal element exists within the force. In the case of Noel Maitland, the judge will be handing out a sentence that will reflect the crime, the barbaric nature, the cover-up, the fact that the training of law enforcement paid for by tax-paying citizens was used to either commit or cover up the act. They will be sending a message that those like-minded should be discouraged from trying this. Now listen to this. Justice Morrison said, Jamaica was suffering from criminality. Therefore, the sentence must reflect what the public is going through. He then said, although the Criminal Justice Administration Act allows that having pled guilty, the accused must benefit from the reduction in sentence, Vernon's case was not applicable, even if Maitland pled guilty, because of the type of crime. The fact that he has also been charged with an additional crime and preventing the family from burying the victim. The judge was also quoted as saying, the public would not be satisfied if you benefited from a reduction in sentence, since you have a prior conviction for violence and there's premeditation and the aggravation is more than the mitigating circumstances. No reason for committing back. He never do it in a self-defense. There's no way Maitland can say he would have to defend himself from Donna Donaldson. I remember them tried. He said the argument that neighbors said they overheard developed over some picture. No, the bus conductor's sentence was 2 years and 11 months for arson and life imprisonment for taking the life of Kadisha Cousins. Now the official report for that case is that on November the 5th, after setting ablaze the house of his girlfriend, the child's mother, Vernon then took the life of the 7-year-old Waterford student and tried to do the same cover-up like Maitland by putting the remains in the rear cobra. Now he was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder after several items, including the youth's identification card, was found in his possession. Vernon pled guilty to the arson and taking the youth's life while in court earlier this year. So even if somewhere along the line, Maitland changed his plea and decided to say, I'm going to plead guilty, based on the amount of evidence against him, based on other cases, similar cases, no less than life imprisonment will be the sentence. The judge said that the public would not be satisfied if Vernon benefited from a reduction in sentence because of his guilty plea. Talk to my people. Do you think in Donna Donaldson's case, Noel premeditated the act? Or it was a situation where him pick her up, him go home, and him jump off. But even so, the actions after that, not speak to somebody, you know, in shock and something does happen by accident. The cover up and, you know, the first thing the people have always pointed out, you know that the people you love. I remember Donna and Noel were together. Well, the Slug says she continue to thank supporters worldwide who continue to stand by her and her family in their pursuit for justice. And so she will continue to pursue justice for her daughter. She says it is not over yet, pointing to the fact that Maitland is still seeking bail, as stated before. I think he might have one more bail hearing before the start of the trial. Because I'm not plead guilty, and even if he did plead guilty, a formal trial would still take place, where the whole thing would happen in a court. But him not plead guilty, and he might take it to trial. His hope was to receive bail and take on the trial while still on bail. To which the judges are saying, no. Them not feel like that would be the right move by the state. Of course, the prosecution has said, no, prosecutors already object to it. Them already I say, them they believe that would be wise either. The family and the public is also saying no bail. And as the judge said, seeing what take place in Jamaica with crime and criminality, sentences have sometimes reflect what the people and the society is going through. Sometimes you have to use it to send a strong message to people that the society and the state is not standing for this. And Donna Donaldson's case is one of those very cases where a member of law enforcement took the life of an innocent law-abiding citizen. The people outraged. Talk to me in the comment section. Of course, drop your thoughts, your comments there. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and share the video. Now, until the reason again, live, love, and prosper, and stay tuned.